Minato Sahashi is a total failure student. He is 19 and he tries to get into college for the second time. He fails the exam and gets kicked out. Now everyone starts to make fun of him. Minato lives a pretty boring life and has no idea how to move forward. That all changes when one day he suddenly meets a very odd girl. This girl is called Musubi and she literally falls from the sky. Minato is totally confused and has no idea what is happening. Musubi thinks that Minato is smart and could be useful. She decides to follow him around and spend time with him. Soon Minato finds out what Musubi really is. Musubi is actually an alien being with superhuman powers. She only looks like a normal girl. Musubi is what is called a Sekirei. Musubi decides to kiss Minato as that is part of the tradition of the Sekirei. With that kiss, she awakened any powers that Minato had deep inside of him. Minato now gets the title of Ashikabi or Master. He and Musubi are now connected. Musubi and Minato go to his apartment where Musubi makes them some dinner. In the meantime, Minato talks with his sister Yukari. Minato thinks that Musubi needs some more human and normal looking clothes. Suddenly the TV starts to act strange. The MBI president, who is also a Sekirei professor, shows up on the TV and talks with Minato about Musubi and what it truly means to be a Sekirei partner. He introduces Minato to something called the Sekirei Plan, which is basically a type of tournament that Minato and Musubi now need to enter. We learn more about the Sekirei alien race. They are a very powerful alien force that has a tradition where they enter a city and fight each other. The Sekirei enter this combat arena with their masters as their partners. The Sekirei Plan is top secret, so Minato cannot tell anyone about it as he will be punished. Soon an MBI agent shows up at Minato's apartment and Minato gets really scared. Minato thinks that the agents have come to take him away, but in fact, they have only brought Musubi her special clothes. Also, it's revealed that if Musubi and Minato win, they will go to a higher dimension together. When his landlord finds out about Minato having guests, he kicks him out. Minato is still confused why Musubi chose him to be her Ashikabi. The Sekirei Plan begins and over 100 Sekireis get released into the city. All of them now must fight each other and the last one standing can reach a wonderful new dimension. Minato and Musubi decide to find a new apartment as Minato no longer has his old one. They go all over the town to try a new place to live but fail every time. Because Minato is not a student, nobody wants to accept him in an apartment. Soon Minato and Musubi meet a woman called Mia Asami. Mia has a boarding house called the Izumo Inn and she accepts many different people there. Minato and Musubi try to explain their situation and finally Mia allows them to stay at her inn. Minato tries to talk with his mom so that she sends him some money. She is also very angry at him for failing to get into university. She decides to cut his allowance by half. Minato gets angry at himself because Musubi promises to protect him. He feels like he is not a real man and wants to train and get stronger. With them having a new place to live, Minato now has to find a job of some kind as he is not a student. Minato manages to find a job at a construction site nearby, and there he meets Kaoru Seo. Kaoru is also an Ashikabi like himself. Seo wants to help Minato in his struggle, so he gives him information on how to get into a botanical garden. Minato wants to reach this botanical garden because he has been having visions of a young Sekirei girl called Kusano. Seo also brings his couple of Sekireis to battle the MBI agents who are in the garden. Minato also joins in to help and they manage to defeat the agents. Finally Musubi arrives and she helps them in the battle. Minato manages to find and save Kusano. She decides to make Minato her new Ashikabi because he helped her a lot. Minato, Kusano, and Musubi now live together at Izumo Inn. They like their new place and life. Soon strange things start to happen in Izumo Inn. All three of them are now scared as they don't know if the place is haunted or not. Minato has no idea, but actually, a mysterious girl is spying on him from the shadows. Musubi soon leaves the inn to get some food and supplies. While on her way to buy some groceries, she gets attacked by a special flying weapon. This weapon is controlled by the mysterious girl who has been spying on Minato. Musubi has to use her powers to avoid the numerous attacks from the weapon. This mysterious girl then goes to talk with Minato in the washroom and he gets pretty scared. Soon Yukari gets introduced to Shana for the very first time. We are officially introduced to the mysterious girl who has been spying on Minato and Musubi. The girl is called Matsu and she is also a Sekirei. It seems that all this time Matsu has been hiding in the inn without anyone noticing. She has spied on Minato and his friends for a while now. Matsu likes Minato and she wants to become his third Sekirei. Minato accepts her and now he has 3 Sekirei and he likes all of them very much. Minato seems to be having even more visions and dreams than before. This time he dreams about a Sekirei called Tsukiumi. This Sekirei is very different and dangerous. It seems that Tsukiumi really hates Ashikabi and she does not want to have a master. Kusano and Minato decide to go and look for her. On their search, they meet up with Seo, who also has some clues about this particular Sekirei. Ikari and Hibiki are being chased by Tsukiumi, and they all meet up with Minato and his friends. It seems that Minato will have to fight Tsukiumi before she can become his Sekirei. Tsukiumi hates Minato before she can even meet him. She decides to attack him as a way to prove that she does not need a master. Tsukiumi attacks him, but for some reason, she cannot use all of her powers. Ikari and Hibiki use their superhuman powers and grow wings. They are very special Sekirei with wings and a lot of power. Minato does not want Tsukiumi to get hurt by them, so he protects her from the attack. Tsukiumi is totally surprised as this is the first time anyone has protected her. She now finally understands that Minato is a good person. Tsukiumi decides that she will allow Minato to be her new master. She officially joins the family and becomes Minato's Sekirei. This leads to a lot of comical misunderstandings with his other Sekirei. In the meantime, Mia decides that some things need to change at the inn. Her guests will now have to change their sleeping arrangements. This makes Minato's Sekirei really angry as they do not want him sleeping with anyone else. Yukari and Shina go shopping to have some fun. Soon another Ashikabi thinks they are very interesting and he decides to follow them. We are introduced to Karasuba, who is a very dangerous Sekirei who kills its targets. Karasuba decides to visit Musubi at Izumo Inn. Musubi and Karasuba have a shared history as they have gone through a lot, and they have also made a sacred promise to each other. They talk about that exact promise at Izumo Inn. MBI director Hiroto Manaka decides to advance the Sekirei plan. The battle leaves stage 1 and goes into the second phase. The entire city of Tokyo is now blocked by army soldiers and MBI security officers. MBI soldiers have locked down Tokyo and nobody can get out, especially Sekirei, who are the main target of the agents. Haruka Shigi is also an Ashikabi and he has his own Sekirei. His Sekirei is called Kuno, and she also finds another of her own kind just named number 95. Haruka tries to find a way to get himself and his Sekirei out of the city. He does not want to be part of the battle and wants to escape the lockdown. MBI agents soon find him and his friends and start to chase them. The group called Disciplinary Squad is tasked with hunting down Haruka and his Sekirei. Yukari decides that they have to help Shina try to find Kusano. In the meantime, Yuzume goes to visit her own Ashikabi called Chiho, who is at the hospital. Matsu investigates and finds out that many Sekirei is being defeated and attacked by a mysterious force. Musubi and Tsukiumi try to hunt down this mysterious Sekirei who has been defeating everyone. Soon this Sekirei attacks Kuno and her Ashikabi. Musubi and Tsukiumi arrive just in time to find out that Yuzume is the one attacking everyone. Tsukiumi starts to fight the masked Sekirei without knowing that it's actually Yuzume. They use a lot of their power and the battle is very intense with many hits on both sides. Soon Kazehana arrives and interrupts the fight. Musubi then takes Minato to go meet with Kuno and her Ashikabi called Haruka Shigi. Kuno is very weak and because of that Shigi decides that they should leave the city. When they try to escape they get into a lot and it seems that escaping the city is impossible. Musubi motivates Minato and he decides to help them get out of the city. Musubi goes into battle against the agents and she uses a lot of her strength. The agents are just too strong and she gets badly injured. Minato is really sad as he sees that Musubi is totally injured and cannot fight anymore. Then Tsubasa starts to make fun of Minato and even offers him a deal to surrender. Minato rejects this offer as he does not want to give up his friends. Kuno and Shina and their Ashikabi fight various enemies in a giant battle. They activate their wings to deflect the giant attack. Suddenly someone whom Karasuba knew long ago arrives and saves Minato and helps Kuno and Shigi. The group finally manages to escape the city. The end. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to get new anime recaps.